Welcome back, English learners. I love these deep dives. They are just so fascinating.
Oh, absolutely. It's like opening a window into someone else's world, isn't it?
It is. Today's deep dive, it's into the life of a pretty remarkable guy, Sundar Pichai.
Ah, yes. The CEO of Google and Alphabet.
Yeah,
Quite a journey his has been.
it really has. And I think
Yeah.
it's a journey that can inspire a lot of people, especially folks who are, learning English, maybe in a new country,
Yeah,
trying to find their way.
exactly. His story shows just how much you can achieve with hard work and determination.
Right. We're going to take you through his life kind of step by step.
From his childhood in India all the way to the top of Silicon Valley.
Yeah. And we've got some great material to work with here, articles, interviews, all sorts of things.
We tried to distill it all down to, the most interesting and inspiring parts.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Sundar Pichai, the name itself is almost synonymous with Google now, right?
It is. He's become the face of one of the most influential tech companies in the world.
Yeah. Think about it. Google Search, Google Maps, Gmail, Android, all those things you use every day.
Billions of people use those products. It's incredible. And he's the guy leading the charge.
He is. But, his story doesn't begin in Silicon Valley. It starts a world away in India.
Madurai, Tamil Nadu, to be precise.
Right. That's where he was born. July 12th, 1972.
Grew up in Chennai, a bustling city. It used to be called Madras, actually.
Right. And it wasn't a life of luxury, not by any means.
No. Middle-class family. His father was an electrical engineer.
Raghunatha Pichai worked for GEC, a British company.
His mother, Lakshmi, she was a stenographer. Later, she became a homemaker.
And they lived, well, pretty modestly.
They did. Small apartment, 2 rooms.
They didn't even have a car or a TV for many years.
It said they actually saved for 3 years to buy a refrigerator.
Wow. That really puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
It does, but it also highlights something important.
What's that?
Their priorities. Even with limited means, education was paramount.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They really valued that, didn't they? They saw it as a way for their children to have a better life.
Absolutely. And Sundar, well, he seems to have embraced that value from a young age.
He did. And get this, he had an incredible memory.
Oh,
Yeah. I read that he could remember every phone number he ever dialed.
that's remarkable. You can imagine how helpful that would have been in school.
Oh, absolutely. But it wasn't just about memorization. He was curious,
Mhm.
always asking questions.
A natural learner.
Yeah. There's a story about when they got their first telephone.
Oh, right. When he was 12.
Yeah. A rotary phone.
Huh?
And apparently that sparked something in him, that ability to connect with people far away.
That's fascinating. It seems like those early experiences really laid the groundwork for his future.
They did. So he goes to school in Chennai. First, Jawahar Vidyalaya Senior Secondary School.
And then Vanavani School, that was part of the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras.
Right. And he wasn't just a bookworm either. He was captain of his school cricket team.
That shows leadership, right? Even back then.
It does. And then comes the next big step. The Indian Institute of Technology in Kharagpur.
Ah, yes, IIT Kharagpur, one of the most prestigious engineering schools in India.
Incredibly competitive to get into.
Oh, absolutely. The stories you hear about the entrance exams are, well, they're legendary.
But he made it. And he studied metallurgical engineering.
A demanding field. But his professors remember him as a standout student.
Yeah. Quiet, but brilliant. And always willing to help his classmates.
The kind of person who elevates everyone around him.
He does. Graduates with honors in 1993.
But his journey wasn't over yet. Not by a long shot.
Nope. Next stop, Stanford University.
California, the heart of Silicon Valley.
And a world away from Chennai.
Quite a culture shock, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure. But he thrived, earned his master's degree in material sciences and engineering.
Surrounded by innovation. Silicon Valley was booming at that time.
It was. All those startups, all that energy. It must have been exhilarating.
You can imagine how inspiring that environment would be for someone like him.
Absolutely. So he's got a master's from Stanford. You'd think he'd be set, right?
Well, he considered pursuing a PhD.
Really?
He did. But then he decided to switch gears.
He did. He goes for an MBA at the Wharton School.
University of Pennsylvania, another top-tier institution.
And of course he excels there too.
Graduates with the highest honors. Siebel Scholar. Palmer Scholar.
It's like he was collecting accolades.
He was. But it wasn't just about the recognition. It was about building a foundation.
A foundation for what?
For leadership. For understanding not just technology, but also business.
Right. He knew he needed both to really make a difference.
Exactly. So after Wharton, he starts his career as a management consultant,
McKinsey and Company.
a prestigious firm, working with all sorts of companies, solving complex problems.
Yeah, honing his skills, learning to think strategically.
And then in 2004, he joins Google.
April 1st, 2004. April Fool's Day.
I love that detail. It almost feels like a prank, doesn't it?
It does. But it was real. And it was a big deal.
It was. Google was still relatively young then, much smaller than it is today.
Right. And his first role, Vice President of Product Management.
Leading the team for the Google toolbar.
The Google toolbar. You know, people might not remember it now, but...
But it was crucial at the time. It extended Google's reach beyond its own website.
Right. You could search from anywhere.
And it gave Google valuable data about how people were using the internet.
Data that would inform the development of future products.
Exactly. But here's where things get really interesting.
What do you mean?
Sundar makes a bold suggestion to Google's founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
What was it?
He proposes that Google develop its own web browser.
Wow. At a time when Internet Explorer dominated the market.
It was a risky idea, but he saw the potential.
And they listened.
They did. They approved his vision. And in 2008, Google Chrome is launched.
Under his leadership.
It was a game changer. Faster, more user-friendly.
And it took the world by storm.
It did. Chrome quickly became the most popular web browser globally.
A testament to Sundar's vision and his team's hard work.
Absolutely, and the success marked the beginning of his ascent within Google.
His responsibilities grew. He took over Gmail, Google Docs.
And then, in 2013, Android.
That was huge. The mobile revolution was in full swing.
And Android was at the forefront, competing with Apple's iOS.
A fierce battle for dominance in the smartphone market.
But under Sundar's leadership, Android flourished.
It did. It now powers the majority of smartphones worldwide.
A remarkable achievement, and his influence continued to expand.
He eventually oversaw almost all of Google's core products. Search, Maps, even Google+, although that didn't quite take off.
He was entrusted with the company's most valuable asset.
And his leadership style.
Calm, thoughtful, collaborative.
He valued data. Listened to his team.
A consensus builder, not one for impulsive decisions or outbursts.
Right. And by 2014, he'd become Google's product chief.
A clear sign that he was being groomed for even bigger things.
And then, in 2015, Google restructured. Alphabet was created as the parent company.
And Sundar Pichai was appointed CEO of Google.
August 10th, 2015. A historic day.
He was only 43 years old, and he'd been at Google for just 11 years.
It was a meteoric rise. A vote of confidence in his abilities.
And a recognition of his immense contributions to the company's success.
So as CEO, he was now responsible for those core Google businesses that touch billions of lives every day.
The search engine, the advertising platform, Maps, YouTube, Android, Chrome, an immense portfolio.
It was, and his appointment was met with widespread praise within the tech industry.
People saw him as someone who understood the technical complexities and the human impact of technology.
And he outlined his key focus areas. Artificial intelligence,
Wait.
cloud computing, enhancing Google's mobile presence.
All while staying true to Google's mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
And he was particularly passionate about artificial intelligence. He saw it as transformative.
He believed in its potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems.
And then, in a further consolidation of his power, in December 2019,
he became CEO of Alphabet, while remaining CEO of Google.
cementing his position as one of the most powerful figures in the tech world.
An incredible journey, from modest beginnings to the helm of a global tech giant.
It really is. So let's talk a little more about his leadership style. What makes him tick?
Well, as we mentioned, he's known for his calm and thoughtful demeanor.
Right. Not a flashy, in-your-face kind of leader.
No, he listens. He values different perspectives.
He's been described as a consensus builder, someone who brings people together.
And he's been able to maintain Google's innovative culture.
While also bringing more discipline and focus to their operations.
He's not afraid to make tough decisions when necessary.
He's also a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion.
He's spoken about his own experience as an immigrant.
And the importance of having diverse voices at the table.
Google, under his leadership, has made efforts to increase representation from underrepresented groups.
He's also very good at explaining complex concepts in a simple, understandable way.
A vital skill for a leader in a field as complex as technology.
He's had to navigate some challenging situations too,
Employee protests, government investigations.
but he's done so with a steady hand.
And unlike some tech CEOs who crave the spotlight,
Sundar tends to stay out of the limelight.
he focuses on the products, the strategy,
He's been described as humble and grounded,
always emphasizing the importance of teamwork.
attributing Google's success to the collective efforts of its talented employees.
And then there's his AI-first strategy.
Right. He believes that AI is the future, that it has the potential to revolutionize everything from healthcare to education to the environment.
And Google, under his leadership, has made significant investments in AI research and development.
But he also recognizes the potential risks of AI, the ethical considerations.
Google published its AI principles in 2018, guidelines for responsible AI development.
He's also a strong advocate for making technology accessible to everyone.
Initiatives like Google Station aim to bring internet access to developing countries,
And they've focused on developing products for low-cost devices.
making technology more inclusive.
He's also championed digital well-being, recognizing that technology can be addictive.
Introducing features to help people manage their screen time.
He envisions technology that adapts to human needs, not the other way around,
And he's been vocal about the importance of privacy and security,
ensuring that users have control over their data.
a critical issue in today's digital world.
He's also looking ahead to the next wave of technological advancements,
Cloud computing, quantum computing,
areas where Google is investing heavily.
pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
He even supports ambitious, almost futuristic projects like Project Loon.
Remember that using balloons to bring internet access to remote areas.
It was a fascinating concept. So we've talked a lot about his professional life.
But what about the man behind the CEO?
Right. What about Sundar Pichai, the person?
Well, he's known to be quite private.
He is. But we do know some things. He's married to Anjali Pichai.
They actually met at IIT Kharagpur. They were classmates.
Imagine that. Finding your life partner in engineering school.
A testament to the power of shared interests and intellectual connection.
They have 2 children, a son and a daughter.
And family is clearly very important to him.
He strives to find a balance between his demanding job and his personal life.
A challenge many of us can relate to.
They live in the San Francisco Bay Area, near Google's headquarters,
But their home is reportedly quite modest, especially by Silicon Valley standards.
which speaks to his grounded nature. He hasn't let success go to his head,
And he maintains strong ties to his family in India.
visiting them regularly.
He's also a cricket enthusiast.
Remember, he was captain of his school team.
And he's a fan of football, soccer, as it's known in the U.S.
FC Barcelona is his team.
So he's got interests outside of the tech world, too.
He does. He's also an avid reader, tries to finish a book every week,
A lifelong learner.
and he makes time for exercise.
To stay healthy and manage stress.
Essential habits for anyone, especially in such a high-pressure role.
Absolutely. So let's zoom out a bit and consider his global impact.
Right. I mean, as the leader of Google, he's shaping the digital landscape for billions of people.
Think about the reach of Google search. Billions of searches processed every day.
And initiatives like Google Station are expanding internet access in developing countries.
Connecting more people to information and opportunities.
He's become a prominent voice in global tech policy discussions.
Meeting with world leaders. Speaking at international forums.
He's even testified before the U.S. Congress about Google's data practices.
A sign of the growing scrutiny on big tech companies.
He's aware of Google's responsibility as a global company.
The need to consider the societal impact of their products.
And during the COVID-19 pandemic,
Google, under his leadership, played a crucial role in providing reliable information.
and supporting remote work and education.
Their tools became even more essential during that time.
He's also committed to environmental sustainability,
Google has set ambitious goals for carbon neutrality and the use of renewable energy,
and they're expanding their efforts to teach digital skills worldwide.
empowering people to participate in the digital economy.
And I think his story as an immigrant who achieved such success in America,
It's incredibly inspiring.
it shows that with talent, hard work, and a bit of luck, anything is possible.
It's a testament to the power of education and the opportunities that can arise from embracing new cultures.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, What are some key takeaways?
Well, I think Sundar Pichai's journey highlights the importance of continuous learning,
Adapting to change
embracing new challenges.
and staying true to your values.
His story is a reminder that success isn't always linear.
There will be setbacks. There will be doubts.
But with perseverance and a willingness to learn from your experiences,
You can achieve remarkable things.
and for our English learners out there,
Keep going. Keep practicing.
your language skills are your passport to a world of opportunities.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be leading a global company too.
It's a big dream, but as Sundar Pichai's story shows, big dreams can come true.
They can. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring his incredible journey with you.
It has, and we hope it's inspired you to keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for your goals.
Until next time, keep those deep dives going.
And keep those English skills sharp.
See you soon.